Hello and welcome back to the channel, and today I have something different for you. It's not a knife, but it's something very interesting for today's times, and it's this tool which a lot of knife people will be interested in, because this tool gets into everyday carry category in AGC. It's a tool to manipulate with objects without touching them, and with the current times where we are inside COVID-19 pandemic, this tool and similar tools are kind of highly anticipated by a lot of people, and a lot of ads on TV, a lot of not TV, social media. I don't really watch TV. A lot of similar tools, doesn't have to be a tool from this specific manufacturer, which can actually help you open the door, press the buttons, do the touch screen thing, and so on. Like, why not having them? So basically today I'm going to talk about this tool, what I found useful and not really useful in this tool, what I recommend from my experience, how to use them, where I got this one, and so on, build quality, and kind of my personal feedback on the tool itself. So first of all, let's talk about the tool itself. So it's made out of brass. It's supposed to be per advertising killing bacteria. I don't want to comment on that promise. Like the whole idea, for example, if you want to manipulate with something, we want to do the touch screens, you want to open doors, you don't touch it with your hands, you touch it with this thing, you just keep it in your pocket and do like this, and bacteria don't move on that, they're supposed to die on the surface. Good idea, great idea. Again, I'm not sure how active antibacterial active brass is. I know some metals like silver do that. Some people like aluminum don't really do that as well as silver, but it's made out of brass. If you make this thing made out of silver, it would probably cost you way more money. And by the way, another thing which I really wanted to see is that if now we are end of May of 2020, if I pay some money, will I get it? Because still there's a shortage of sanitizers, there's a shortage of masks, and will I be able to buy it if I want to? Just if I place the order online, how soon will I get it? So let's talk about this first real quick, about how I got them, and then we'll talk about the tool itself, and I'll give you my feedback on the usage. And because yes, I did use this thing before I'm filming this review. So I did place an order of that thing, I think about almost 3 weeks ago, so it would be like early May. I've seen ads on similar tools quite a while. I was thinking, like, that was a time of the early pandemic. I didn't actually wanted to go anywhere, so I'm like, why buy a tool to go somewhere when I really don't want to go anywhere? I'm working from home, I'm minimizing my shopping trips, nobody goes anywhere, my family is at home, so like, why would I buy it? Especially, and I don't remember prices, advertised prices on similar tools back in the days, but I think early March I was able to place an order for 2 of those things with drop or must drop for I think it was like $20 per thing. Of course, it's not $20 of a tool. It is really just a machined piece of brass with the packaging and shipping and so on. It can cost, without high demand, less, absolutely. But I said, okay, $20 per thing, $40, I'll place an order. I think I had some points again with the drop, and I applied the points. It was a little bit cheaper for me. Free shipping. They did give me a shipping date somewhere mid-May, which was not too far from a date of a placement. I'm like, okay, let's see what it will be. And actually what happened, they did ship it just maybe couple days later than the promised ship date. I got those things about a week ago in my possession. I opened one package. I didn't open the second one yet. And I had to go to a few places, and I did use this thing a few times. And again, I'll share my experience of using this in a moment. That's a shopping experience, how I got them, how much they cost, and that was one of the tests actually for me. Can I get it? Can I get this one or another one advertised? This one I was able to get in a reasonable amount of time. Other ones, I've seen different models. So for example, this one is just featuring like a finger hole, hook, touch surface, groove, jimping on the back. Doesn't have integrated, I don't know, box cutter, which I've seen again on other tools, bottle opener. That's fine. Just a solid construction, pretty large tool, thick. That's it. That's what you get. And by the way, this one is made in China. You can read it in there, by this company, Keysmart. They have the logo in here. It doesn't say clean key on the tool itself, but that's what it is. And by the way, it's brass. So what I think you can notice right away is that once I was using that for a week, it started to patina already, which is good. Yeah, it means the active surface of that metal is actually working. It does oxidize, and that oxidization is actually part of the process, which is kind of like, again, to my knowledge, is contributing to reducing the time of any bacteria living on that specific surface. So anyway, if once you, for example, open the door like this with this hook, this area which gets into contact, and this area which gets into contact with the touch screens, suppose that bacteria getting on those surfaces will not last long. So that's what it is. Again, I'm just quickly about the use cases, like suggested use cases for these things. As you see, open the doors with the hook, maybe push some doors with this. You can do that as well. Of course, you can do it with your elbow. You can do it, I don't know, with your back without touching those doors with your hands, where contamination possibly may occur. Pressing the buttons on keypads, pressing the buttons in the elevator, something like that. Using touchscreens, very interesting thing. And I'll tell you right away. Touchscreens, good touchscreens on, for example, on cell phones. For example, you got to use someone else's cell phone for the payment. Imagine that's a screen. If you do like this, it doesn't work. That's not good. Maybe this whatever capacity, electrical capacity, which touchscreen supposed to feel from your body, doesn't get transferred really well through here or through that maybe patinaed area of the angle. And if you do it like this, it doesn't work. But if you do it like this, it does work. If you have a larger, almost like a flat contact surface with the touch screens, it does work. You can press the buttons or whatever virtual buttons on the touch screen. You can scroll. You can maybe operate some menus. You can maybe do the like a signature thing. I didn't actually do signature thing with this yet myself, but I did operate different touch screens, and I can tell you that in most cases which I encountered, you gotta be absolutely like flat to the touchscreen surface, then it does work. I was able to get through the menus and hit OK buttons and so on. With the physical buttons like this, yeah, no big deal. Doesn't matter. Then of course this thing has a hole to attach it to your keys or whatever, keychain. Okay, once we're here, let's talk about it. I decided not to do that. First of all, because I don't have like a big keychain, and I think having that with the keychain and where you gotta take it out of your pocket with all the keys and use it, it's not really a good idea, because what if you still get some exposure to bacteria or germs and so on? And again, let's not talk about COVID in general. Let's say you in general avoiding any contamination. Keep your keys separate, keep this thing separate. That would be my recommendation. So yes, it is absolutely good to have a hole for a ring or for lanyard, what I'm thinking to do with this thing. It's gotta be one, because you don't want to do a lanyard through this finger hole. You want to keep it open and unobstructed for your finger. It's good to have one, but I wouldn't recommend attaching it to your keychain unless it's maybe quick detachable one or something with like extendable cord, so you don't really have to take your keys out and expose them. They are not bacteria proof. You don't want to do that. It's just a functional feature. Use it a little bit better than they say. So, and by the way, this angled area behind the ring is how you pretty much control it. You feel it with your other, like a middle finger, and with this jimping on the back, that's how you can easily control the angle, how you point this tool towards the objects which you want to manipulate. And by the way, this is the jimping, no bottle opener, but everybody who likes to open beer bottles, just by looking at this thing, thinking, oh, it's made out of metal, it's pretty solid, it has those good edges. I can pop open beer bottle with no issues with this. It has a nice length, it's a good lever to do that, so don't worry about bottle opener. Doors, yes, of course you can open doors with this. It has a very nice opening for those handles. You'll be able to grab longer, like vertical handles. You'll be able to push down on the handles, which you're supposed to do that. The only thing which it will not help you if you have a door handle where you gotta grab it, and then there's extra kind of like a button or lever on top of the handle to open it. With this thing, sorry, it's not gonna help you unless you have maybe glove on your other hand and you open the door and use this thing to push on that handle from the top, maybe like straight push or whatever, flat push, doesn't matter. So that's the only exception to the functional area from here. Other than that, yes, that's what they say. Door pull handles, it can be just a pull, it can be like a pull, like lower it down and pull, that's okay, it's gonna work. So that's my main feedback about this tool, that it's gonna work for you. You can get those, they're pretty big. They're not gonna help you with all these use cases. They're not gonna be super convenient or integrated into your everyday carry, keychain and so on. That's again my experience, but in general they do work. So Another thing to consider, if you will be in the areas where you really need to interact with a lot of objects and you don't have anything, it may help you. But if you're just going to be rare there, or you're going to use the gloves, use the gloves, throw them away, or wash them. Use another pair of gloves for your rare visits to areas with people with exposure. Then maybe gloves would be better than this. That's again based on your lifestyle, based on where you are. If you're in a city, you can't have gloves for every moment of your lives. Another clean pair of gloves. Use this one. I went to the hospital. They do not allow use of the gloves actually inside the hospital. I did use this thing inside the hospital. It was not the COVID environment, it was something else, but still I had to do that. So yeah, it does work. It's pretty good, and I think it's worth having. In terms of another feedback which I can share, in terms of the build quality and build construction, it's about 4 millimeters thick. It can be less. That's what I can say. Again, I'm a knife person. I know that 4 millimeters thick metal is probably too much, only for some special tools, which I don't think this one's really need to be 4 millimeters. Plus the build quality, it's cut, so it does have those pretty much unchamfered edges here and there. So maybe because this copper or brass is not that soft, with the time it won't be that edgy, but at the moment, out of the package, out of the box, it's it could be better. And as I said, it should patina with time. Do you really need to clean it to restore its antibacterial qualities? Don't know. Read online how good those antibacterial qualities for the brass, for patinaed brass, and make your own decision. So let's spend a couple more moments just comparing this thing to another similar tools in this category, not clean key tools, but just knives and so on. Just wanted to give you an idea what the brass is with the knives which I have. And also another use case for this, which I wanted to highlight, is that you don't want to keep it with your keychain. You maybe want to keep it on your wrist, and let's actually finish this lanyard and make it like a wrist lanyard for this tool. So first of all, quick size comparison. This tool is not small. That's my paramilitary tool. See the size of the tool. It just like an inch or 2.5 centimeters short of the handle of paramilitary tool, which is not a small thing, right? Thickness wise, wow, it's pretty thick. Couple more comparison to the another brass objects which I have. You see it's getting some patina already. Just compare the color. And if you're gonna talk about some of the other popular knives in a copper, that's this knife I have for about a year, and it did start patina already, but it darkens significantly. This one is just changing the color still, and again, as I said, comparing to the unopened one, it's just within a week it did change the color. So that's what I wanted to highlight from build quality and material point of view. Let's finish this video, and I thought it's gonna be quicker, but I'm still working on this one. So let's make a lanyard for this one. Let's finish this one. For the lanyard, that's what I'm saying. It's better to have maybe this thing separate from your keychains. And for that, since there's no clip, you may want to either have it on your lanyard, so the end knot will stick out of your pocket, so you can always pull this lanyard and take it out of your pocket, so you don't have to put your hand inside the pocket every time to grab it. Or you want to have your wrist inside this lanyard and just this thing hanging out. So that's why I took this rather long paracord. I made a knot here. Let's make one more knot like this on this side, and I think it will be good to go to see the world again. This one's gonna be, and by the way, I'm just making a larger knot because I like a little bit larger knots in general. I think they work better. You can grab on them easier than on small knots, but up to you. Whatever design of the lanyard you want to do, or whatever design of a knot you want to do. So this one is I don't even remember how it's typically called. Just a little bit larger knot with a kind of like a cross on both sides. That's what I did. If you want to do a simple knot, or if you want to do like a diamond knot, like I have on this one, which will be way larger, sure, go ahead, do it. Yep, so this one is pretty large. If I put my wrist in here, the length would be pretty much as good as I wanted to catch it with my finger and use it, and then just drop it, and then again catch it, use it, drop it. It will be on my hand, on my wrist hanging, or it will be in my pocket, but this part of lanyard will be out of my pocket. I'll be able to easily pull this thing out of my pocket just by grabbing the knot. That's why I want the large one, and then just getting my hand in there, use it. I'm not gonna lose it with this. So that's it. One more time, thanks for watching. Everything I talked about is here today. I hope you found some good information in this video, and as I always say to everybody nowadays, stay safe, stay healthy, and hope to talk to you again. Bye.